I'm Jordan Long here, and today you can tell I don't have to have the lights on again, which is gonna have to be more and more of it, but sadly, it one day like this and other days it's not. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about the ATMs, or whatever you want to call them, and about how it's taking shifts. You and someone else had to take a shift, and you hope that you hope that whoever's in front, whoever behind you, isn't looking at what you're doing, isn't watching what you're putting in, you know. And you know what I'm getting at, though, because you're going on trust that your stuff that you're putting in and whoever's behind you isn't, seeing what you're putting in. And there is some trust going on. Because there's nothing that's actually, blocking anyone. There's nothing from stopping anyone seeing your overstep word, or whatever you're putting in to get your GALD or income or trade word, whatever you want to call it. It's not like that only you can see what you're putting in, and anyone else looking over your shoulder is going to see a bunch of weird runes and tracks that make no that they can't make any right out of. You know, so there is trust going on with that, and there also is, it is what it is. You know, in the same thing, if you happen to be behind someone, stopped holding for them to do what they got to do, then they got trust with you that you're not going to do something with whatever they're putting in. And I know there's going to be someone saying, well, how can you see that far over their shoulder to see what they're doing? Well, you're right behind them. Or now, maybe 6 feet behind them, I guess. Now, make it a little more harder. But still, there is trust that someone isn't taking down or writing anything that you're doing, or somehow taking it and somehow seeing what you're putting in and then putting it to their mind, their memory, their mind, so they can then do it later. You know? And you know why? Because there is that trust. There is that trust going on. You know? It's like, well, I sure hope that no one's watching or sure what I'm doing. And the same thing goes for her. Oh, I sure hope that well, I sure hope that no one's watching what I'm doing. Yeah, there is trust going on with that. You know, you also have to have trust that whoever's behind you isn't getting it into their head that, well, I'm going to steal it and I'm going to hold until you have it open and then do something to you and take it from you. You know. So, yeah, you do have to have some trust with whoever happens to be out there with you, and you have to be out there with them. And same thing, they're also, and I know they're thinking, oh well, they got the shooters. Yeah, but they do got shooters, but folks will still do evil things, shooters or no shooters filming. So there has to be trust between you and whoever is out there, that they're not, waiting holding for you to be done with your thing, so then they could go and then say, oh well, you put this and this and this in. But then why would they? They have their own overstep word for their own reckoning, for their own GALD, so why would they want yours? But in life, there are folks that Lucifer tells them to steal. They make the choosing and pick to steal, and they don't care what they steal. So yes, there is trust going on between you and whoever is behind you, and trust between you and whoever who's in front of you if you're not the first one there. So it is what it is. There is a lot of trust with that. And there definitely is a lot of more trust when you go in there and you're dealing with a teller. He or she is taking on trust that you're going to do everything right and that you're not going to do anything wrong. So many folks like to go and steal, and a lot of them tend to go and a lot of them tend to show a lot of them tend to steal from the teller, which it happens a lot. Maybe not as much, but it does happen. Not as much as folks seeking to steal from the toll itself, but there is trust going on between a teller and you, or any other buyer who's coming in, that they're not going to do anything wrong. So every time you do get out to work one of those MTMs, you're having trust with someone that they're not going to do anything to you. They're not going to steal your gout or income, or they're not going to somehow be looking over your shoulder at what you're putting in. And they have trust with you that if you're behind them, you're not going to do the same thing to them. So, is this lifelike? Oh, this is truly lifelike, you know. So, that's it for me. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.